là. Bella, ciao Emilio. Tutto a posto? Si sente? Mi senti? Ciao Emilio, non so se mi hai sentito. Ancora 2 minuti. Vediamo. Oh cazzo, telefono davanti lì, no? Emilio, mi senti? Ah, stai per uscire dal lavoro. Ah, fio, ma quanto tempo passa da quando io parlo a quando vi arriva? Fia, strapeso. Ah, ok, no, buono. Si sente l'audio, si sente tutto. No, è che io non pensavo ci piegasse così tanto da arrivare ad arrivare l'audio mio. Perché proviamo a girare un po' la live dappertutto, vediamo se... Bella, ciao Mamba. Allora, tutto a posto. Live. Ancora 2 minuti e dovremmo vedere qualcosa. Cioè, ovviamente penso che sarà in inglese. Io adesso gli metto anche i sottotitoli, se si può. Non si può. Ah, forse perché è dal vivo. E insomma, cerco... Ah, tranqui, ok, bella. No, era giusto per capire un attimo le tempistiche, perché a volte magari rispondo a un messaggio e poi la persona non c'è più ed è già andata via. Allora. E quindi non capisco se sono poi io che non faccio in tempo a rispondere, se... Bene, dai, vediamo adesso cosa ci diranno qua. Ma non ho grosse aspettative, ecco, dal punto di vista delle dichiarazioni. Comunque stavo dicendo che se non si capisce poi vi traduco io, ecco, mettiamola così. Dai, mettiamo lo schermo intero. Forse era meglio se non lo metto. Sì, dai, sta andando? Si vede bene? Lagga? O si vede da culo? Sta luce quasi non ti porto per i bianchi. Oddio, ci siamo?
The moments that last forever go beyond what we see on the court.
You are the Finals MVP.
These moments start with the ball, a dream, and a relentless will to win. They're a combination of every.
Questo non è il trailer che abbiamo già visto. Cioè, il trailer che hanno già rilasciato. Io sinceramente Emilio, ricordati che puoi provare a vincerlo. Se partecipi sul gruppo Telegram puoi vincere il gioco. Cioè, puoi vincere.
Welcome back to our road to NBA 2K26 streams. I hope everybody has had a great week so far, and hopefully we can help you end your week on a high
Non
note.
si vede bene,
Since
lagga un
Monday,
po'.
I have been seeing posts asking what day gameplay would be coming. Remember, when we said July 28th, that was the week of July 28th. And the same thing applies for all the other dates we put out. But today is the day for gameplay. We made you all wait a couple days, but we are here to talk about gameplay today. Before we get into it, as always, we do have a couple housekeeping items to walk through. Today, we are talking about NBA 2K26 on Gen 9 platforms. That is
Se
the
no lo
version of the
rimetto
game
come era
that's on
prima,
PlayStation
tanto... No.
5, Xbox Series X and S, PC. I wanted to give you some, 5 extra minutes to get some extra Twitch drops time, and hopefully you were able to get that. But for the first half of the summer, the Twitch drops will be to earn a locker code for NBA 2K25. So if you watch for 45 minutes, which many of you have already, you will get 2 1-hour double XP coins, one for my team and one for my career. I am betting a lot of you have finished your 45 minutes already from our last stream a couple weeks back. But if you keep watching beyond that and watch for a total of 2 hours, you will also get a My Team 100 overall or higher pack, camo pants for your My Player, and also 60 skill boosts. Now, keep in mind, Twitch drops are, of course, on Twitch, kind of in a name. So if you're watching on YouTube or X or TikTok, come over to Twitch if you want to earn a locker code. Next thing, something new. We are starting something called Creator Challenges today. So from now until 2K26 Early Access begins, if you make content that breaks down or reacts to any of our 2K26 courtside reports, including today's gameplay one, you're going to want to use the hashtag NBA2K Challenge in your video in the description or the title. And after you all reach the community goal of 2,026 eligible videos, you all will unlock a locker code for a drawstring bag and a My Team pack in 2K26 that we're going to post during early access. And on top of that, if you go to our Creator Challenge website at this link below, you will be able to fill out a form, submit your video, and then in September, we are going to draw 26 eligible winners who will each get 1 million VC
ok, non ci sarò mai
in
tra questi
2K26.
26 tra questi
All right,
26
let's get
creator.
into gameplay and welcome
Lasciamo
in
stare,
our
poteva essere
special
una cosa
guest.
interessante.
Max, how are you feeling today?
Non lo è.
Man, oh man, I'm feeling good, man. And for me too, it feels amazing being like kind of on the outside of the information. So everything I'm about to see today is gonna be new and news to me as well. So you'll get to see my live reaction. Yeah, man, I'm ready for it. Let's get it.
Alrighty, well, let's get right into it. I see the chat wants us to hurry it up. The first thing we do have for everybody today is the cinematic gameplay trailer for 2K26.
Figuriamoci se non avevano una cinematica, ma va fan.
Game. It's still early in the morning for you. I hope it wakes you up and gets you ready.
Vogliamo vedere il gameplay, non le cinematiche.
Yeah, I want to see it, man. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm excited just like the rest of the chat. Let's see this gameplay. Come on.
Posso dire che la prima. Posso dire che non mi piace. Che sembra. Sembra stracartone. Ma questa è la cosa che vogliono fare tutti i giochi cartone. Non sbaglio io. Perché non lo vedere?
È una canzone di 30 anni fa, cioè. Ma posso dire che cioè, è lo stesso gioco. Gli hanno solo cambiato le ombre. Gli hanno cambiato i colori. Ma è, cioè Ci sono rimasto male. Sì, tra l'altro, cioè,
Hey man, you know what?
non si sono
The
neanche
first thing I
inventati
wanna
niente
say
di
about
che,
the
hanno
trailer that I noticed
utilizzato...
off the rip is the different camera angles and stuff we got. Like, I don't know if, hopefully I'll be able to make some content too with with those type of camera angles. That looked pretty fire.
Chi se ne frega
Also,
delle
pro
camere
play, man.
diverse?
A lot of
Cioè,
signature moves I've seen in there. Kevin Durant, looking just like himself, movement wise. Same with Jalen Brunson, that little turnaround shot that he does.
anche l'anno scorso
Amazing, man.
dicevano le
I'm hyped
stesse
for it, man. I've seen a
cose,
lot of
pro
stuff in
play,
that
movimenti
trailer
dei
that I really
giocatori
like.
di qua di là. Alla fine cos'è cambiato
For
in
sure.
gioco?
Shout out to our creative teams, our marketing
Quanti
teams who put
movimenti in
together that
palleggio sono
very awesome
effettivi?
trailer. I am
Cioè,
very
che
biased,
funzionano.
but that shot of
2,
LeBron
3,
behind the rim
cioè...
at the end, that was just perfect. I see somebody in the chat
Yeah,
says
the Obi-
LeBron is not doing that at 41 years old. I'm pretty sure LeBron just did that a
Posso
couple months
commentare
ago,
su
so
questa
that shot
chat? Scusami,
is very
perché non ho
accurate.
la chat?
But
not
that
a,
was just to start what we have today. Next up, we are going to pass it to our gameplay director, Mike Wang, and a special guest
Non mi fa vedere
recorded
la
a
chat,
courtside
qua.
report video together for you, and they're going to go through some of the gameplay features in 2K26. Check this one out.
In 2K26, ProPlay powers the all-new dynamic motion engine, using machine learning technology to make your actions feel more lifelike and realistic. Dynamic lower body pose matching adjusts the exact positioning of players' legs and feet on the fly to remove the skating seen in past games and ensure that players launch, plant, and cut realistically. This is the biggest change to player movement since NBA 2K21, offering a fresh and authentic feeling every time you step on the court.
And that's the same year I made it to the league. It's wild to see how gameplay's evolved the last couple of years.
Oddio, ma è tornata la barra...
Players who take
Tiro-
advantage of the rhythm shooting mechanic will
Come
notice
nel
more
2K21,
responsive and authentic
cos'era,
jump
2K20?
shots that simulate a true shooting motion. We really wanted to emphasize creating a skill-based
Ancora
environment in
sto
2K26
rhythm
that blends
shooting, che
authenticity with
palle.
competition for a more rewarding experience.
Il gioco
This renewed
sarà uguale
focus will be felt
identico.
across multiple gameplay features, from shot outcomes to successful blocks and steals and loose balls and rebounds.
As a shooter, that sounds awesome. But what about potential changes to moves in the post?
Big men in NBA 2K26 will now be able to leverage all new signature go-to post shots by holding up on the shot stick while in the post. Players can lean into a host of new moves, including shimmy floaters, baby hooks, and up and unders. Playing with your back to the basket is a lost art, but those who are able to master it
Madonna mia, ma
can
che
take advantage of the paint.
tristezza.
In previous versions of NBA 2K, layups were limited by a single signature layup package, but this year, players can draw inspiration from around the league to mix and match standard layups, floaters, quick scoops, euro steps, hop steps, and spins, and determine exactly how they want to finish around the rim. 2K26 uses system-driven technology to generate player-to-player collisions that are more reliable compared to previously scripted motion-captured animations. Coupled with new dynamic motion, this change improves the freedom of authentic movement for both the dribbler and on-ball defender. Interior defense has also been redesigned so that it's easier to put a body on shooters when they're finishing around the rim and make body-to-body contact in the air. And bigs will feel increased physicality when
Mi dà
roaming in the paint.
l'impressione che abbiano usato le stesse cose e gli abbiano solo
Last
dato
but
un
not least,
nome
we've
o una
added
cosa
some new
diversa.
offensive controls to give players a more intuitive, deliberate, and free-flowing experience. Ball
Una
handlers can now
descrizione
shield themselves
diversa
from
in
steals
modo
by
che
reacting
ti
with the
sembri
Quick
una
Protect
roba
mechanic.
nuova,
The
ma-
introduction of Quick Protect will bring more balance and lead to more skill-based outcomes. You can even use it to put defenders in jail, just like Luka and other strong guards love to do. For spot-up shooters, you can use the new Quick Shot feature by holding the left trigger on catch-and-shoot shots. This will skip the dip and allow you to get your shots off super quick like Klay Thompson. Slashers now have access to slow-motion Euro step gathers, something we've been seeing a lot of in the league lately from players like yourself and Ant. This will help you navigate through the paint and around defenders by decelerating to throw defenders off and create space with a slow-mo finish. And finally, another highly requested feature is the ability to force wrap passes, which will allow you to feed the corner three or thread the needle to a cutting teammate and avoid defenders playing the passing lanes.
As a big-time 2K fan, I can't wait to get my hands on 2K26 and experience these all-new features for myself.
Gameplay in NBA 2K26 has taken a giant leap forward with more personalization and variety, faster pace, and more skill-based gameplay.
Whether you're a new player or a veteran like me, everyone can master the fundamentals in these all-new moves. Pre-order NBA 2K26 Superstar or Leave No Doubt Edition today and hit the court sooner with early access,
Se non avete
starting on
ancora
August
prenotato il
29th.
gioco, innanzitutto non prendete la Live No Doubt. Non ha senso prendere quella da 150 euro. Non ci
Man,
sono
oh
benefici.
man, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Shout out to Mike Wayne for coming through and blessing us with some more information, man. But yeah, we got a deep bag to get into today, Evan. So let's go ahead and start kicking it off with some of this stuff here, man.
Yeah, there is a lot there. And just like last time, we just gave Stacks a list of everything in the full Court Center Report blog that we can talk about today. So we're going to go put them in your shoes and go through not only each feature that Mike and Tyrese mentioned in more detail, but also we're going to talk about a couple improvements that actually weren't even mentioned in the video. So stick around for that. I'm ready if you are,
Yes, sir,
Stacks.
yes. Yeah. Let's get into it, man. I'm excited. I'm hyped up. I know the chat is ready to get into it as well. So first up, we got Pro Play Motion Engine. Mike said that this is the biggest change to the motion engine since NBA 2K21. I'm pretty sure we got a few
Ma
questions
come fa
about
a
that in the
essere
chat. So Evan,
il
what
più grande
exactly does
cambiamento
that
di NBA 2K26
Well,
se
sure.
il Pro
In case you
Play
haven't heard
c'era
about
anche
Pro
su
Play
NBA
in the past, that's been a big
2K25?
step towards more lifelike basketball in 2K.
Questa roba non ha senso per
And
me.
it's this really cool tech that lets us use footage from real NBA games to capture animations from them. So we don't need to have players come to our studio and wear those mocap suits with the white dots and do the animations there. We can get them from the NBA footage. So at its core, Pro Play is about getting a huge library of animations from the NBA. And I think oftentimes the community attributes
Anche
more
perché,
to Pro Play
ripeto,
than what it really is. So I just wanted to clarify that.
alla
first.
fine cosa
But
avevamo l'anno
anyways, the last
scorso
2
di
years you've seen
movimenti?
Pro Play
Chi è
for
che
things
usa?
like
Cioè,
shot animations and dribbling. And
non
now,
ha
this year,
senso.
as you heard Mike say, that NBA footage is powering all of the on-court movement in 26. So it is not just the dribbling, but it is expanding to offensive movement, the way players move on defense, and even off-ball movement as well. And you might be thinking, well, what's the actual benefit, right? Well, when you play, you are going to see how players move in a more lifelike way. So you heard Mike talk about how in past years, you may see players kind of skate around or slide around, right? I think that's been a lot of feedback that we've gotten in the past before. And with this new motion engine, you are going to see that skating and sliding a lot less. So hopefully you guys will feel this change when you get your hands on 2K26
Cioè,
very
quindi
soon.
uno dei maggiori cambiamenti
Sound like some good news
dall'introduzione
to us,
di questo Pro
especially
Play Motion Engine,
skating
da
and
quello che ho
sliding
capito,
all
è
over
che
the
non
court. I
vedremo
know
più la
nobody
gente
wants
che
that.
slida in campo.
Next up, we
Che...
have enhanced rhythm shooting. All right, I was a rhythm shooting demon this past year, and now rhythm shooting is enhanced. I would love to know more about that too.
Yeah, I keep being asked if rhythm shooting is back, and it is. It's also got some really cool upgrades that I'm personally excited about because, like a lot of people this past year, I was kind of resistant to it at first, just being honest. But over time, I wanted to learn something new. And now at the end of year, just like you, Stacks, I use rhythm shooting for almost everything. All of my catch and shoots, all of my step backs. And I've heard from not just you, but many people who've done the same thing. So for those of you who like shooting with the button, you can still shoot the button. That is not removed, but rhythm shooting is a more advanced option. And if you take the time to learn it, you're not going to regret it, because this year the big upgrade is that rhythm shooting is no longer just about matching the player's animation, but rather giving you the full control over the animation. So when you do, picture your controller, when you do the down up flick on your right stick, the way you flick the stick will actually change the way your player is shooting. So to try to explain this in like the simplest way we can, rhythm shooting has two parts, right? The timing of when you flick the stick, and then the tempo of how you did it, timing and tempo. For timing, if you flick up really early, you can now release the ball earlier. And if you flick up late, you can kind of hold on to the ball for a moment before you let go. And then for tempo, if you flick up kind of fast, you're going to rush your shot. But if you flick up a slower tempo, you're going to do like a lazier looking release. So the cool thing about this is there isn't necessarily a right or wrong timing anymore. It's giving you more freedom, because let's say, for example, you rushed your timing to get the shot, right? The defender's closing out, you want to rush your shot. If you rush the timing, but you still green the tempo, you can still make the shot. So to me, it's really just about how you shoot in real life. The dev team is giving us more control as a shooter than you would have simply by pressing the button. So I got to mess around a little bit with this earlier last week, and I'm still getting the hang of it, but I can't wait to try it
Ma
some more.
se la
And Stacks, I
maggior
think you're gonna
parte dei giocatori che utilizzano
man. I think
playmaker,
that's one of
quindi i
those things that I'm gonna
tiratori
have to get my
utilizzano
hands on to
l'impostazione
actually
di
see
default
exactly how it
che
works.
il giocatore,
So
non di default,
yeah,
vanno a cambiare
I'm
le
excited
impostazioni
to
di
see what
default
that's
dove
about. Definitely
utilizzi l'analogico
gotta
solo
go
per
back
fare
to
i
the other two,
movimenti
but
in
I gotta see what
palleggio
it's
neanche
looking
per
like. Next up, we
tirare.
got
Cioè, questa è la
skill-based
cosa più
gameplay.
inutile del mondo.
I know that's been a big topic lately. We don't have to spend too much time on this. All right, yes, skill-based gameplay. Let's get to it.
Ma non ha
we
senso, ma
did
stanno
talk about
dicendo
this
delle
on the
robe senza
roadmap stream a
senso
while
per me.
back. So, like, we'll just do a
Yeah.
quick recap. But remember, I see the chat asking about this. This year, a
Perché io
point
non
of
posso
emphasis
scrivere
in
nella
26
chat?
for our dev team
Mi hanno
is
bloccato
skill-based
quelli di
and
2K.
competitive gameplay that makes you feel more in control. So, when people are asking about like the outcome
Voglio
of
scrivere
shots,
anch'io nella
rebounds, loose balls, steals, and all those things like that, we are intending to make that more skill-based, competitive. So, as you hear us talk about all the new features today, just keep that in mind. And then the other thing we did talk about last time were that a few gameplay settings were adjusted. So higher difficulties
non trovo la
and
chat,
most
ma sei
multiplayer
sicuri che
modes
c'è la
are going to
chat?
have green or miss shot timing. And then layup timing is permanently enabled so that people aren't making real player percentage layups on your head anymore. But that should catch you up if you missed our last stream.
Yeah, man. I think the layup timing thing is probably my favorite thing from last stream, just because like maybe mid-year I started adapting layup timing, and I think personally for me it's been better in terms of like how I play and getting those layups off. So I'm excited to see more people be forced to use that as well, and kind of create a little bit more of a bigger skill gap, you know, when playing the game online. Anyway,
Exactly.
let's go to the next thing. We have signature go-to post shot. So we already had that signature shots like pretty much on the perimeter, but now it look like we have showing some love to the big men out here, man. So let's hear about those signature go-to post shots.
Yeah, so many of you probably remember the regular go-to shots we've added, and personally, it's really fun anytime I see a video of like somebody doing
Posso
side
dire
by
che,
side
cioè, mi
of
stanno
2K gameplay and IRL
scendendo.
footage together. So like I've seen it for Steph a lot, KD, Kyrie, people like that. So the dev team has worked on
veramente.
giving big men more moves this year as well, and they've added what we're calling go-to post shots. So when you're in the post, if you hold the right stick up, you're going to see new post moves and moves that a bunch of big men in the NBA are doing today. So I'm hoping to see some more go-to shot clips for big men now this year as well, like some of the ones you even saw in the gameplay trailer.
Okay, man. Yeah, I kind of messed around with the go-to shots. It took me a while to kind of figure out which one I liked the best, but I found one that's pretty effective for me. Anyway, moving on. We got custom layups, right? Now I heard Mike say mix and match.
Non so se state riuscendo a capire quello che dice.
Because when I say mix and match, I'm thinking mixing one player's layup package with another player. Like, is that what are we talking about here when we talk about that?
You are correct, because a popular piece of feedback from the community and something I've heard often has been somebody might like a certain animation from a player's layup package, but they don't want all of that layup animations, right? And this is an addition that tries to address that feedback. So in the past, you pick one layup package, and that player's package determines all of your layup. This year, you can set different players' animations for different types of layups. So we have normal layups, reverse layups, floaters, quick scoops, euro steps, hop steps, and spins, as you can see here in the My
Anche il
Player
menù è
customization
uguale, anche il
And then
menù
these
è
new,
uguale,
like, specific
anche il
categories,
menù
that
è
is available
uguale.
both when you're customizing your My Player, and also if you play My NBA, it's also going to be available when you're editing your rosters, and editing the players in them. You can assign to them
Ma il
these
menù
different
è lo
types of layups as well.
stesso.
It's a really cool feature to me.
Ma
Yeah. I like that. I could already imagine. I know some of the people that play competitively, you know, probably didn't want to use a lot of other people's layup package because a lot of those layups might get blocked in competitive gameplay. So now I could see them mixing maybe some Kyrie with
che
some Steph Curry, you know what I'm
tristezza.
saying? Getting real like innovative inside of that. So that's kind of fire, man. I like that as well. Being able to mix
Io
layup packages.
veramente,
I don't
cioè,
think we've
ho visto che il mio
been able
video
to do that for a
di
while,
skate è
so
andato
I'm
molto
definitely
bene. Mi sa che
rocking with
ragazzi
that. Next,
da
we got
quest'anno io
defense.
NBA non lo
Mike
carico
says
più,
that
no,
collisions and
scherzo,
interior
no.
defense are better
Mi
this
dedicherò
year.
molto di più a skate,
That's
cioè
great to
dai,
hear,
ma che
man.
è
That's
sta
definitely great to
roba?
hear. What exactly does that mean,
Sentiamo i
though,
defense
Evan?
improvement perché adesso sono veramente
Well, in the
curioso.
past, the way players' bodies collided with each other was scripted, right? That was through mocap. And I think many of you knew that, or at least assumed that based on how those animations look. Well, this year in 2K26, there is new tech that actually generates those collisions. So you're going to notice as a dribbler or even like an on-ball defender, you are going to notice more freedom of movement rather than kind of being stuck in a scripted, mocapped animation. So that's one benefit there. And the other one for interior defense, that has been redesigned so that bigs can get body bumps more reliably when they're contesting layups and dunks. You're really going to feel more physicality in the paint if you are guarding around the rim. So there was defensive improvements as well. We never want to make it one-sided. We do want to remember our defensive players out there as well.
Yeah, for sure, man. I think anytime we can get some defensive improvement, show some love to the defensive side of the ball, it's always a great time. Next, too, not only defense, we also got new rebounding timing feedback. This is
Basta, non
interesting. I'm not sure if this is something we've ever seen in 2K before. So let's see what we got here.
Yeah, so
Non
this
so
is
cosa
actually a
dire.
small but really helpful addition when I saw it for the first time. Maybe I was just out of the loop because I didn't really play on big builds until the last year, but I never knew when to press triangle to jump for a rebound.
Sì, ma allora non farmi neanche tutta sta menata qua della roadmap di tutte ste robe, cioè butti fuori il video, basta. Dici guarda abbiamo aggiunto questo, abbiamo aggiunto quello, che cazzo mi serve che mi dici tutta sta roba qua che è inutile? Cioè stanno parlando di robe inutili.
And this year, when you do have an excellent timed rebound, you are going to see a green flash below your player's feet, just like you see in this clip of the Thunder. And if you do nail the timing and get a green rebound, it is going to significantly boost your chances of securing the ball. So it is important to get the rebound timing right, to have the best chance of grabbing the ball.
Hanno messo il verde sui rimbalzi. Allora sì che cambia tutto.
To when you have to jump. And last thing there, just a note, not all bigs are created equal. So if a player has higher defensive or offensive rebounding attributes, they are going to find it easier to nail that timing and get that green flash on offensive or defensive types of rebounds, whichever one their attribute is higher for. So definitely don't skip out on your rebounding attributes.
Ripeto,
Okay.
ragazzi,
I think that's amazing
se
too.
riuscite
I
a
think
prendere
that
il gioco
adds
bene, ma
another
non spendete
level
soldi sul
of
gioco,
what
tanto
people like to call a skill
escono
skill
bug,
gap
escono
now,
cose,
even in
quindi
rebounding.
non buttateci
I think that's
soldi,
probably
vi
going to
giuro.
go into how a lot of people make their bigs this year. They might think a little bit more about adding more rebounding now, just to get that better timing on there, get that clutch rebound. Anyway, let's move forward. Next, we got new controls. Mike talked about some of these like rat passes, and there's a lot here, so let's get into some of them.
Yeah, so I mean, well, one thing, before we go through like each of the new controls, there is an important note here that I think many of you will be very happy to hear, that the overall game speed in 2K26 has been sped up compared to 2K25. So hopefully that is good news, many of you. But as you hear about these new controls, keep that in mind, because if the game speed is faster, that means players who have faster decision making, who can anticipate what's going to happen next, are going to be rewarded more. So Mike and Tyrese in that video, they covered some of these new controls already, so we'll just do a quick recap of them. But Stacks, what do you got first?
First, we have Quick Protect. By the way, I do want to say, man, the game speed being faster is a huge W as well. I know that's been something that I've been talking about a while too, is having the game speed a little bit faster, so I really love that. But first up, we got Quick Protect.
Yeah, you heard Mike talk about this one. This is a new control so that when you're dribbling, if you tap the left trigger, you can now kind of shield the ball or evade somebody reaching in on you to get a steal. So if you do react quickly enough to a defender that's reaching in, you can counter it. And then the goal here is to give ball handlers a balance to the steal system and ultimately lead to more skill-based outcome. But there's actually one more use to it though, because it has a dual purpose. So as you are driving to the basket, if you feel a defender kind of on your back, you can actually do a quick protect, tap the left trigger, and then you'll trap them on your hip to get open. And I think you saw in the video that this is something Luka does nearly every game I watch him in. So that's the example we used. But Luka is somebody who uses the quick protects a lot. But yeah, there are double uses to these new quick protect controls.
Yeah, I like that. I like the sound of that, man. And I like that a lot of these gameplay changes and these new things that's going into it are like to enhance the skill gap. You know what I'm saying? So I really do like that. Quick Protect, I feel like that can be very, very, very useful. That just for the things that you said right there too. So I like that. Next up, we're going to talk about the no dip catch and shoots. I'm very interested about that. I think we saw a little bit of an example of it in the gameplay with Klay Thompson. So let's hear about that.
Yeah, this one is, I think, I shouldn't say it, now, but I think this is my favorite feature today, just because it's the one that I'm going to probably have the chance to use the most. Because when I'm out there playing, as some of you know, I am always sitting in the corner, right? I don't dribble. I just kind of sit there and knock down threes for my team. So this is a really cool addition because the dev team has added a feature in 2K26 or people like me and then anybody else who kind of is a corner sitter or just sits there waiting for the ball to shoot, when you're standing still and you get past the ball, if you hold down the left trigger, you are going to square up and catch the ball and then go straight into your shot without dipping your hands down. And it's funny that, when I first learned about this feature, I remember this like old Klay Thompson video that I watched before where he kind of explains exactly this. And he talked about how he
questa è
mastered
anche
being able
un'opzione
to
che ci
catch
può
and shoot
anche
in rhythm
stare.
without dipping, and it's part of why he's such a
Ma
good shooter. So
bisogna
this new
capire se
feature
poi i
is gonna
passaggi
help you do
funzionano,
exactly
perché
that.
se funzionano i
2K,
passaggi
like
come
Klay
su
Thompson and anybody else
2K25
who
che
does that in
io
real
sono
life today.
fermo e la palla mi arriva a 3 metri di
we like that too, man.
altezza,
Okay,
anche se
so
ho
far,
l'analogico
all
verso il
these
basso
gameplay
per essere
improvements
pronto a
are pretty
tirare,
fire.
non mi
That
serve
one
a
is pretty
niente.
cool too, I'm not gonna
Cioè,
lie. Next up, we
per quello
have
dico,
revamped
sono robe
signature
inutili
size up.
aggiunte giusto per dare un po'
This
di
one is like a
così
control change.
fumo
Kind
negli
of. So
occhi a
they're
chi
a little
compra il
different this
gioco,
year. There are two
perché i
inputs
problemi
now.
sono
So
altri.
you can either
Va bene che mi aggiungi sta roba, ma se il passaggio fa schifo e non riesco a fare un catch che sia un catch, che cazzo me ne faccio di precaricare il tiro?
Flick the
Cioè,
right stick like up,
boh,
and you're going to get two different
veramente.
size up combinations. This is really just to give you more variety in what types of size ups that you can do. Because when you go left, right versus up, it's going to be a different size up. So more controls for those advanced users out there and advanced dribblers who want to take advantage of those.
Invece
size
che fare su e no, invece che fare destra sinistra,
Okay,
destra
I
sinistra,
like
adesso puoi
that,
fare anche su e giù.
I see one of my
Più
favorite
varietà nelle
moves
mosse,
in
questo,
the game. This is
è
a
quello
move
che
I
hanno detto
utilize
loro.
a lot, man. We got slow motion Euro steps now. I kind of want to
Ecco,
hear a
quello
little bit
sono
about that, man.
interessante
I
di
love
capire.
using the Euro step. What do we got about that?
Yeah, this one does look very cool because there are very few players who can just put their head down and barrel their way to the rim every play.
Vorrei
You know,
capire
like
come si
most
fa a
players, they need a
rallentare,
little
se ha
finesse
senso,
there.
perché già
So
se
the dev
facciamo una
team has
virata,
added these
perdiamo
slow
la palla,
motion Euro
figurati se
steps.
faccio
This
una
is
roba
another
del
left
genere.
trigger
Cioè.
control. So picture your controller again. As you're doing a Euro step, if you hold down the left trigger, you can slow down mid-move, kind of do like a slow motion drag step. And if your defender kind of isn't expecting it and jumps based on what your normal layup speed or Euro step speed would be, they're going to fly right by you. So it is a new way for people to mix things up with their layups. I gotta say,
Ripeto,
like,
anche
overall,
questa è
layups in
un'opzione che
general
potrebbe essere
feel really good
interessante.
this year, from what I've seen, from what I've heard from people
Ma
who
poi
play the
dipende
game,
tutto dal
that
gioco,
layups in
cioè.
general feel really good. So if you're
Perché
somebody who likes driving
faccio
into
l'esempio di
layups, hopefully you're gonna have a great year
2K25.
in
Io faccio l'Eurostep, ok?
I ain't gonna lie, I like that. That's probably my
Rallento
favorite
così il
feature
mio uomo
so far.
salta,
Like
ma
I
il
said,
mio
I like
uomo
to
salta e mi
utilize
salta
the
addosso e mi
Eurostep,
fa perdere la palla.
being
Quindi
able
cosa
to,
mi
like,
serve
kinda
che abbia
throw the defender
rallentato
off, like you
l'Eurostep?
said, make him jump when he think you're going up. And then go
Sono
up with the
queste le
layup.
cose che non
I
pensano.
really
Cioè, è
like that,
quello
Evan.
che mi fa
Not gonna
girare
lie,
le
that's
palle.
probably my favorite feature right there. But next up, we also have wrap passes.
Yeah, I saw the chat like this when we were talking about it earlier, showing it in the video. So this one is like a new control. So in the past, like double tapping circle, if you're on PlayStation, double tapping circle, that was a flashy pass, right? I used to spam that by accident sometimes. But now double tapping circle is going to do a wrap pass. Because I've seen people submit 2K25 videos in our feedback channels that are like, why did my pass go straight into the back of a defender? And they wish they had more control over what type of pass they did. So now the good passes out there, you can control when to do a wrap pass and avoid your pass going into somebody's back. And this one is pretty simple. So double tapping circle on PlayStation or double tapping B on an Xbox controller, that's going to do a wrap pass now in 2K26.
Rap pass, che cazzo vuol dire?
Perfect. Love that.
Rap.
Having a little bit
Cioè
more
che
control
fa
over your
girare
passes.
attorno.
Speaking of passes,
Vediamo.
next up we got
Però anche lì,
alley-oops.
ripeto. Tutto
Yeah,
dipende
this
dal
one
gioco,
was not
perché
in the
io faccio
video.
girare
This one
attorno,
was a
tipo
small
basta le
change
braccia
to
dopo che c'è
alley-oops
alzate
to
per la
make sure
palla,
they
cioè.
require a little more
vabbè.
So on lower difficulties, alley-oops are still going to be similar to previous year. You can get away with just pressing square, and you don't really have to think too much, right? But on higher difficulties, the button the dunker has to press is going to be randomized. So on PlayStation, for example, it is not always going to be square. It could be any of those 4 buttons on the right side of your controller, so that just makes sure there's more thought behind an alley-oop, because it could be circle, it could be triangle, or X, or square, and you're going to have to pay attention on those higher difficulties to finish your alley-oops as a dunker.
Cioè, ci sono i tasti casuali quando ti alzano la
I think
palla.
this is just for me. I'm not speaking for anybody. I think anything we can do to increase the skill gap. I know I keep going back.
Ma
to
se
that,
già
but
non si
anything we can
riescono a
do to increase
chiudere
the
gli
skill
alley
gap, I
quest'anno,
think
cioè,
it's
ma che
cool.
cazzo di
Now,
sensi?
Going online,
Boh, io
you know,
non, cioè,
you won't get spammed with alley-oops and all of those crazy things.
quante animazioni
Now
di
it's gonna be a
alley
little bit
ci
more
sono
difficult.
state
I think all of this
quest'anno?
stuff, though,
Cioè,
once
di
you
schiacciate
play the
con
game for a while
contatto.
and get the hang of it, you know what I'm saying? You'll get used to it and you'll start to get a little bit better at it. Next up,
Dopo
we
certo,
have
non è che
uh,
cambia chissà
chat.
che cosa da schiacciare
I
A,
think some
B,
people in
X.
the chat, they're underestimating their reaction time. Some of you don't like this, but when you actually do it, I'm pretty sure you're going to be reacting quick enough to whether it's X, square, triangle, whatever it is. I think you're underestimating your reaction time. For those of you in the chat who kind of heard that and were a little scared about what that means for you as a dunker, I think you're underestimating yourself.
I mean, you know, if they're not good enough to get the button pressed in time, man, I don't know what to tell them, man. That's tough. Anyway, moving on. We also have setting screens. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so this one is for the big men out there. So this year, when you are setting a screen, you can kind of make fine adjustments to which way you want to face. So as you're setting a screen, you can nudge the left stick, left or right, to kind of rotate your player 45 degrees, a little bit in whichever direction you nudge.
Per fare i blocchi in movimento.
Or
Giusto,
you can
come
flip
in
the
NBA.
left stick in the opposite direction of what you're facing, and your players kind of do a 180
che sento mi sembra
degree
che sia
turn
una
for the
cosa
spin.
a peggiorare.
And that means that
invece
if
che
you're a smart
migliorare,
big
cioè.
who starts learning these and can really pin defenders, you're going to get your ball handlers open better. So this is an advanced control for being added for like big men who want to be at the next level and be a better screener for their teammates.
Okay. All right. Well, that is it for the new controls. A lot of new things to learn. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the faster game speed. I know like a lot of people don't like change, man, but you got to lock in for a little while, get in the lab, you know, and once you get used to it, I'm pretty sure everything is going to be okay. But anyway, before we wrap up, is there anything about AI and coaching that we need to know?
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot about AI and coaching, to be honest, in the blog that everyone should definitely go read. But, you know, especially if you play my team or my NBA and you consistently have a lot of AI teammates, it's definitely something you kind of want to learn about. But we can summarize a few real quick here. We have time. What do you got?
Okay, let's start out with first up, we have drive and kick intelligence.
Yeah, okay. So this one, I've heard this feedback a lot, that the AI like wouldn't pass when they should, or you as the user might feel like the AI should have made a pass that they didn't. But this year, the AI does have improved drive and kick intelligence. And what that means is they are going to be more actively looking to see when the defense rotates and then pass out if there's an open shooter. But on the flip side, because we do have to balance it, right? For AI defenders, there is also new help defense intelligence. And that is about making AI smarter about when they collapse in to help and protect the paint on those drives. And this really factors in, you know, how close the ball is to the basket so that defenders can adjust
Questo
properly
di cui stanno
to help
parlando parla
or then
tutto
recover back out
della
to the
IA
shooter.
e dei
So,
bot,
if you think
ma
about the two things we talked about,
credo
the
che
help
sia
defense and
riferito
the
al
drive
main
and kick
team e
on
alla
offense,
carriera.
those are really
Non
complementary.
credo
So
sia
it's really going to
riferito
encourage
ai
you
bot,
to
ad
pass the ball
esempio
around
quando
to
ci
make sure you
troviamo
find
un
an
bot
open
al
man,
parco,
whether
un
it's
bot
you
al rec.
or your AI getting you open as well.
A me interessano di più quei bot, non quelli della carriera. La carriera fa schifo
Next up,
comunque
we
sempre,
have
quindi
My
c'è
Player
almeno sistemate i bot
Freelance
che giocano
what is this about,
nelle
Evan?
modalità
This is my first
online.
time seeing this.
Quello mi interessa.
Well, as the name suggests, this one is specific to my players, obviously. So your AI teammates, they do now factor in where you are on the court, right? When you're playing my player, let's say you're in your NBA career, your teammates do understand where you are on the court, even if you don't have the ball. So for that drive and kick that we just talked about, if an AI drives in and the defense kind of collapses on them in the paint, they're going to know that where you are on the court, and they can find you more consistently if you're open. If you're standing in a corner wide open and your defender went in to help, they can find you in the corner for an open shot. And also with this freelance engine, there is a new set of quick plays that you have when you're off ball. And you can kind of use those quick plays to communicate with your AI teammates. So the example from the blog is that when you're off ball, you can tell your point guard that you're going to come set a screen for them, like give them a heads up, or you can actually call like a post up for yourself. Things like that are examples of these new quick plays that are possible with this freelance engine. But there is more in the blog that we're not going to go through in its entirety here. I think it might be better for you guys to go read it yourself. But, real quick summary, there is smarter double team logic. So it sends a double at the right time and knows who to double. There's better screen navigation so that AI defenders can make the best decision when they get screen and go over under screens with more logic than they have in the past. And something I think many of our sim players will appreciate is the dev team has expanded playbooks. You now have the ability to put up to 80 plays in your playbooks now. For those of you who are basketball experts out there, know all the ins and outs of those plays. I can't claim to be somebody like that myself, but hopefully if you are one of those people, you are going to benefit from that feature. So definitely go give the Full Court Set Report blog a read. There's a big AI and coaching section there that I think many of you will find to be very interesting.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, man, I think a lot of what we talked about goes back to like we were saying in the first stream that we did was a lot of community feedback. I feel like a lot of things here, we have a lot of new skill gap controls now. You know what I'm saying? Controls that's gonna kind of expand that skill gap. So if you get really good at all of these new features, you know, you'll probably be a better player out there on the course. So I'm super excited about all of that stuff that's coming to 2K26.
Yeah, the full blog, the Courtside Report, that is live right now on the NBA 2K website. Or if you missed the trailer, if you missed the Courtside Report video, that is live on our NBA 2K YouTube channel as well. That includes everything we just talked about in case you missed anything. And also, if you do have any questions today, because I'm sure, as always, every year of gameplay, there's going to be a lot of questions. We did open, or we are about to open, our questions channel on Discord, discord.gg/NBA2K. And our dev team is going to be answering some of those questions. So that's discord.gg/NBA2K. Join there. There is a 2K26 questions channel. Drop your gameplay questions there. And keep in mind, we are answering gameplay questions today. So don't ask about my player, the city, my team. As you saw on our roadmap, that is coming up soon. We're not answering questions about those yet. Today's questions are just going to be about what we talked about
disabled on YouTube.
Gameplay. But I hope everybody learned something that they're excited to try out. For me, custom layups is a big upgrade. I've always wanted to mix and match my layup packages there with different players, so that's a big upgrade for me. I want to try out that new rhythm shooting, the quick release catch and shoots, so I am very excited to play 2K26. Do you have a favorite feature, Stacks?
I think for me, mine's probably the Euro step feature. I definitely want to like master that and get really good at that, man. Being able to slow that Euro step down, kind of throw the defense off a little bit and getting the easy bucket, wide open layup off that. So I think for me right now, that's my favorite thing. But I'm sure once I get my hands on the game and play it for a while, I'll find something else that I like to. That's my favorite.
For sure. Well, that is going to do it for us. We do have a couple of notes to close things out, though. Many of you now have probably finished your watch time for the 45 minutes locker code between last time and the last roadmap stream we did and today. So make sure you claim that in your Twitch inventory. Then go to the NBA 2K Twitch Drops website and log in with the same Twitch account that you used. It has to be the same account, right? If you log in with a different account, we're not going to know that you watched 45 minutes. But your locker code, once you log in, is going to be shown there. And remember, your code is unique. It can only be used once. So don't share it or post it anywhere public unless you want to give it to somebody else. Once you give it to somebody else and they use
Chi se ne frega, è tanta roba di merda, dai, chiudi sta cazzo di cosa.
But coming up next, we are going to talk about presentation. You may have noticed in today's gameplay trailer, I saw many of you in the chat were saying the lighting was better. There's lighting improvements. There will be a Courtside Report blog next week. It is going to cover all of that in more detail. I can't wait for that one. And then also next week, also the same week, towards the end of the week, we are going to be talking about my players as well, which I know many of you are excited to hear. For now, we do have a little teaser of the themes we talked about in the roadmap, but you're going to have to stay tuned for next week to see the full reveal of what's new for my player. But there is a lot more coming up very soon. That is just the next week. As you can see in those little cassette tapes, if you zoom in, there is a lot more coming up very soon. Very last thing, we do want to hear about your first impressions of what we shared today. So if you do have a few minutes, once me and Stacks go off screen, you're going to see a QR code that takes you to a survey, and we're also going to pin the link in the chat. And we would really appreciate if you use that to let us know what you thought about the new gameplay features today. Let us know if you have any questions.
Sì, lo facciamo subito, facciamo dai, fammi vedere questo qua.
That is all I got.
All right, man. So we'll see you guys next week. That's another big week coming up for us, man, with more information about NBA 2K26. Hopefully you guys enjoyed what you saw here today. Until then, we're going to wrap it up here, man. Appreciate y'all for stopping through.
Non mi è piaciuto quello che ho visto oggi.
It'll be a fun August. Have a great weekend, you guys.
Ma vaffanculo, fammi vedere sto cazzo di QR. Non sono un robot. Posso mandarmelo sul computer, che così lo facciamo insieme? In teoria si copia, vediamo un attimo. Allora, fammi vedere un secondo. Questa roba qua. Vabbè, intanto cerchiamo un attimo questo. Che cos'è? NBA 2K. Server status, collega, NBA 2K. Dov'è la roba che dicevano Confronto le edizioni, roadmap, forse. Twitch drops, Discord, no? Roadmap. Il cammino verso gameplay. No, qua c'è quello che abbiamo già visto. Ok. Non c'è quello che dicevano. Il blog, tutte quelle stronzate lì. Edizione Superstar, bla bla bla. No, non c'è. Allora andiamo un attimo a prendere questa roba qua. Scusate. Vediamo se ce la fa fare da qua. Oh, grande. Tac. Next. E la completiamo insieme. Which are the following gameplay reveals have you seen? Gameplay cinematic trailer. Corside. Game Corside. Ah no, vaffanculo. Tutti e tre li abbiamo visti. Via. How did the gameplay cinematic gameplay your interest? Far less. Molto meno interessato. How did the gameplay Corside Report video? Molto meno interessato. Tutto meno interessato da quando ho visto questo video, sincero. Basandoci su quello che hai imparato sul on-court gameplay, quanto sei soddisfatto dalle seguenti opzioni aggiunte, ecco. Hai incrocio improvement 0. Advanced control 0. Signature go to stop 0. 0. Via 0. Metto tutto a 0 sti coglioni. 0 0 0 0. Tutto. È uguale all'anno scorso tanto. Mamma cara, che tristezza. If you have any question about the gameplay, why it looks like NBA 2K25. Yeah. How you were late excitement for extremely low. How you pre-order? Sì, purtroppo sì. Ma ancora ci sono le domande, non gli avevo dato abbastanza di merda addosso. What did you start playing? Porca troia. Adesso l'11. When did you last play? Ah, non c'è neanche il 25. Scusa, com'è possibile? Perché qua c'è il 25 e nell'altro non c'è? NBA 2K24. Vabbè. Thank you for your time. Non so se sarete tanto contenti. Cos'è successo? Non ho cliccato niente. Ma non ci ho cliccato su Discord. Ma io non c'ho... Ma che è sta cosa? Oh. Comunque io voglio capire che durante il video dicono vai a vedere qua che c'è scritto tutto. Dove cazzo c'è scritto tutto quello che hanno detto? Com'è che era? No. Forum? No, non era forum. Che cazzo era? Sì, era forum? No. Non mi ricordo più qual era la parola, porca troia. Stanno così. Gameplay reveal, va bene. Quando esce, preordina, data di uscita, giochi, poi perché. Oh, non so dove andare a prendere la roba che dicono loro. Info. Beh, guarda, c'è niente. Ci siamo già andati qua. Savuto. Sadiseto. Fuck, proprio fuck, proprio. Quali piattaforme, quali versioni saranno disponibili l'accesso anticipato. Cosa in edizione, dove possiamo acquistare copie digitali. Ma vai a fare in culo, va. Sul Pass Experience, vai a fare in culo. Forse, oh, raga, supporto, te no. No. Non so, non lo 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 so. Ma perché non c'è NBA 2K25 e non c'è NBA 2K26? I nostri giochi. 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. Vabbè. Non capisco, devo provare a fare qualche ricerca, poi andiamo a vedere magari nel video che carico in questi giorni con tutte le robe. Lo cerco, ecco, con un po' più di calma. Però non so, fatemi sapere anche voi cosa ne pensate di di questo video. Io sinceramente ci sono rimasto male, perché a parte che abbiamo visto un video forse di, cos'è, un minuto neanche, che tra l'altro non è neanche disponibile sul canale, se non sbaglio. NBA 2K. Ma come ancora live? Ma che cazzo stai dicendo? È finita da moda live. Ah, adesso li hanno caricati. Pezzi di merda. Vabbè, dai. Boh. Io non so cosa dire, veramente. Non so cosa dire. Non so cosa dire. Vabbè, fatemi sapere cosa ne pensate. E domani, se riesco, carico il video con un po' il riassunto di tutto quello che hanno detto, di quello che abbiamo capito e delle robe inutili che hanno aggiunto. Boh, io non ho più parole, ragazzi. L'unica cosa che vi posso dire è: non spendete soldi su sto gioco, compratelo, ma poi basta. Seguite me che vi faccio vedere come fare VC, come fare tutto quello che vi interessa nel minor tempo possibile, ma non dategli più un euro a sti stronzi, perché non se li meritano. Questo è quello che penso. Va bene, ragazzi, ci sentiamo in questi giorni, ci salutiamo, buon proseguimento a tutti e buona giornata.